Day 18, I am back on the trail. Got started about, I think, 1:30 this afternoon. I haven't gone far yet from the interstate, but spent last night in the hotel in Banning, and so now just making my way towards Big Bear, California. I estimated conservatively it should take me about 5 days, because I've got to climb back up to over 8,000 feet, and I'm at, I think, about 1,200 feet elevation right now. And I guess a lot of the trail is washed away from really bad storms that they had in February. So it sounds like a lot of the trail you're actually having to basically just walk through a creek right now, because the trail used to run alongside it, but it's just completely washed away now. So we'll see. Very hot out. So I'm just hiking along and ran into this unexpected stream. So I'm just taking a break. I have some leftover Domino's pizza in a Ziploc bag from last night in the hotel that I'm eating. So I'm just going to drink up as much water as I can and then refill my water bottles and then keep going. But no shade here, unfortunately. So the trail passes through that giant wind farm that I saw while I was descending Mount San Jacinto. And the office, I'm at the office right now of the wind farm, but they kind of have this makeshift structure built for hikers to give shade. And they've got a big cooler with a bunch of waters and some fruit, and some of the waters are frozen to keep them cold. And I guess when its office hours are open, they have like some kind of convenience store in the office as well that they let hikers use. So, pretty nice of them. Just got a big, I think close to 2,000 foot ascent done. So now I've got downhill for a ways and a couple more short uphills, and then I'll be at a campsite. Day 19. Just got started for the day. It's gonna be another hot day, I think. It's already pretty hot in the morning, but just came across this sign. Canada, 2,444.9 miles. That way. Well, I've reached the Whitewater River, so the trail crosses this, and then it's about 6 miles and quite a bit of elevation gain to get to Mission Creek, which is going to be my next water source. So this is the trail here after crossing the river. Basically just rocks and pretty much just beach sand. But there's the mountain I'm heading to right now. The river was back that way, and there's San Jacinto that I already crossed. Just stepped right out in front of a rattlesnake. It scared me half to death. It was like maybe a foot from my right leg. It's probably about a 3-foot snake. I've never jumped so fast in my life. Well, I'm at the point in the trail where I'm basically having to find the trail now because it's washed away for the most part. There's bits and pieces here, but you basically just have to follow the canyon up and just kind of find your own route for the most part right now, because it's definitely not clear where to go. So basically just keep crossing back and forth over this little creek, but it's not deep or anything, so it's not a big deal. So here's an example of the trail being washed out here. So I'm on the trail right now, and then it goes, and then it leads to this little drop off, probably a solid 10 feet. So I think I'm supposed to cross the creek again. So I just gotta make my way over there. Well, it's the end of day 19. I made it about 15 miles today, which is better than I expected with all the bushwhacking going along Mission Creek and having to find the trail constantly. But just got set up for the night. The trail is just right up there, and the creek is on the other side of that, down a little embankment. Day 20. I got started about 40 minutes ago or so. Basically today is just all uphill for the most part to get up to like 83 or 8,400 feet, something like that. Just stumbled across another huge rattlesnake. That was again like 1 foot away from me. And I had my earbuds in so I didn't hear him or anything. But it was a big one. 4 or 5 feet for sure. I do not like snakes. Not even 100 yards from the last big snake. Here's another one. It's definitely not nearly as big. But I'm just gonna have to wait for him, I guess. He's like facing the trail and not moving. Yikes. Finally starting to slither away. I think he finally noticed me. I'm pretty close to 8,000 feet elevation now. Just made it to my last on-trail water source for the next 16 miles. But I'm starting to run into a few patches of snow, and I have about 600 more feet of elevation to climb yet today, and a little over 6.5 miles to go until I'm gonna stop. This is the kind of stuff I just love walking through. The pines with the nice smooth dirt trail. Some snow. Nice valley down that way. And then a bunch of snow up there. I'm back in some snow. Nothing too gnarly yet or anything, but quite a bit more snow travel again. It's late in the day, so the snow is really slushy. There's a good view here. Here's the mountain I'm currently on. Mount San Jacinto. In the desert, way down there. And it was the end of the day. I got, I think, 13 or 14 miles done for the day, which is pretty good considering all the elevation that I had to climb. So I'm just laying in my tent, just in my sleeping bag, cooking some instant mashed potatoes and a packet of Spam. And I've got a pretty good view out the tent door. Day 21. So today's 3 weeks since I started. Nice sunny day. There's clouds way down there that I'm way above. And there's another mountain off in the distance there. I think it might be Mount Baden-Powell, where I'll be heading to after this mountain. But I'm not totally sure. Just stopped at the last water source until I get to Highway 18, which is in 8 miles. And then once I get to that highway, I'll hitchhike into Big Bear Lake, California. And then I've got a reservation for 2 nights at a hostel there. Getting back down into some more arid desert type conditions here. Just stopped for the day. Got to this little grove of trees, so I found a little bit of a flat, clear spot. So I'm going to set up the tent here. Just taking a quick break first. But I got my 15 miles in for the day, and now I've only got 4.5 miles to go tomorrow to get to the highway where I can hitchhike into Big Bear Lake. Day 22, Easter Sunday. It's a short 4.5 mile or so hike from where I started this morning to get to Highway 18, where I'll hitchhike into Big Bear Lake. Crossed paths with one big snake a ways back, probably 3 or 4 feet. Kind of looked like a rattlesnake, but it didn't have the rattle on its tail, so I'm not sure what it was. But beautiful day. Well, I'm pretty much at the highway. I'm probably like 100 yards from the trailhead. A little trail magic here, a bunch of free soda, and some water. And also, I have hiked 10% of the trail. That's a good feeling. I made it to the Big Bear Hostel. I hitchhiked into town with a few other hikers. So I'm going to spend the next couple nights here and just relax, rest up, get resupplied. I've got my clothes in the wash right now, so I'm just wearing my down jacket. But yeah, it's going to feel good to get off the trail for a couple days and take a little break here.